Hi everyone. I'm sure you can tell by the title of this episode that my soul kitty Hades has left the building. Um, we had to put him down earlier today. Um, like in the back of my mind when he was having those issues like several weeks ago, in the back of my mind, just something felt different. But you hold out hope that your cat's gonna make it through whatever. Basically, like, he doesn't have cancer or anything like that. He was just, for like the last 3 days, his health just looked like it was declining. Something was going on. He stopped eating, he stopped drinking, he wasn't even moving because he was so weak. And so this was Friday and today's Sunday, so like our vet was closed down here because they close on Fridays, and nobody else around the area was accepting pets. So we had to take him to an animal hospital about an hour and a half away. And they kept him overnight, put fluids in him, and today, like, the news isn't any better. He hasn't improved. They can't figure out what was going on with him. His sodium was high, and there's just other stuff. Basically, like, this didn't come down to money, although it does factor into it, but like, this figuring out what was going on with him cost like a few $1,000s. And they said the high end would be $5,000 if like they had to do more testing or whatever. And then this morning when we got a call and they were telling us what was going on with him, they were saying that like it would be like $8,000, and that's just kind of like on the minimum, I think. And we don't even have the few grand. Like, we had to put it on the credit card but anyways, like, it was that, and it was like more of, I didn't want him suffering anymore because something was going on inside him and he was in like a lot of pain. It was weird. He hissed and bit me. That fucker had never done that before. Ever. It was like a different cat, and that's what I was like, oh man. Like, something's happening, and like, I don't know what it was. I just know that this cat couldn't even move. He was in so much pain, and they were running tests, and like, it was a good place. They were nice people. They just needed more testing, and we can't afford that, and I'm not putting my poor baby through that. So yesterday when we were driving down there, sorry about the sound, I had Hades in his carrier. And so, like, well, just to back up a little bit, 4 years ago, his sister, we had to put her down because she got cancer. And her behavior changed quite drastically, like sorry about the dry mouth, like several weeks out from her dying. Hold on. Her behavior, just like, she was an anxious kitty. I called her the corner kitty because, like, she loved her corners just like I do, and she didn't want nothing to do with the rest of the cats. She was like, fuck these cats, I'm just gonna do me. And her and I were just we're the corner whatevers. And so a month before she died, she started doing things I had always wanted her to do. Like, she never wanted to play with the other cats because she was too anxious, and all of a sudden she started like going down there, and like when I would play with the other cats, she would come to and play with them. I was like, what? She started exploring the house more because this cat, her and Hades, I got them together. They were like brother sister. And I don't know what happened to Athena. I don't know, like, if because she was super anxious, and as if something bad happened before we got her, and we got them both at 7 months old, or not I did, because, I met them first, but anyways, she was a happy cat. She just liked her little corner area and wanted everybody else to leave her alone, so I completely understand that. And then, so I'd always wished, though, that she would just be a cat, like, go play, go, like, look for treats and stuff. And so that she started doing that. She started, like, hanging out in different rooms of the house, more sociable. And looking back, like, I really think animals know that their time's up. I feel like I don't have any proof, but I think they just know. And so, like, when she got cancer 4 weeks after her behavior changed, I was like, oh my God, was she like, maybe this is like not, maybe this is, I'm just like creating this or whatever, but I was thinking that she gave me what I had always wanted from her, just a little bit of that. To see her happy, go hang out with other cats. So what I'm getting at is Hades, the one thing he doesn't like to do is he's not a lap cat, or was. I'm talking about him as if he's in the present. I realize he's not. But he was not a lap cat. He was I will lay right by you, and you can pet me for hours, and we can touch each other, like we can just, touch, lay next to each other, but he did not like being picked up and put in my lap. And I'd always wished that he would do that, because then it would complete this perfect cat if he could just lay on me. Just come on. And so we're driving down there yesterday, and I had him in his carrier on my lap. Poor cat couldn't even really move. He bit Alicia when she tried to get him into the thing. That's how much pain he's in. So we're like half an hour into the drive, and I had the door open to the carrier, and miraculously this fucker crawled himself out of the carrier and onto my lap. And sorry, he laid on me. Like, he wasn't even trying to get away. Like, that fucker was in pain, and I put the carrier in the back seat, and he just laid on me, and, like, on my chest and against me, and didn't try to move, and just, I knew that was goodbye. Sorry, like, I know people may not like to listen to other people being sad or something. That makes me sad sometimes, so it's okay if I'm just talking to myself right now. But, I knew in that moment that we were saying goodbye to each other, because he'd never done that. And not to mention, his behavior has altered the last several weeks. I've been on here talking about it, like, and, in the back of my mind, I was just like, I don't know that he's got much more time. Even though, like, I was hoping and joking or whatever, I didn't feel like he had more time. And yesterday when we were driving him down, I just pretty much told Alicia, I feel like we're just like driving him to his funeral or something, because I just have a feeling. And so we went back down today, and we were with him, and they were really nice. I kind of wanted Dr. Baumgartner to do it, our vet, because I described how he was with Athena. And I, before we even left and they were on the phone and we had made the decision to put Hades down, I took the phone from Alicia and I said, I didn't even think twice about this. I was like, look, our cat 4 years ago had to get put down, and our vet liked to do step-by-step verbalizing what he was doing as he was like going through the process of putting her down. And I said, I'm autistic. Can somebody make sure that there's somebody there that does that for me? I need that. And they were like, of course. And so it was a different kind of a scenario. Like, at our vet, Athena went to the back room and she was put on a table. At this place, because, this is why they charge so much money, like, it's a bit bougie. They took me and Alicia down, like, this, like, empty hallway to our own room. It was a very, like, nice room with couches and, like, tissues and stuff. And so they brought Hades in, and we spent some time with him, and I thought they were going to, like, walk us back, and they just did it right there. It was this, they were in their 20s, probably late 20s, this girl and this guy, and super, super nice. I don't know how people do this on a regular basis. And I asked for, like, I wanted him to just die in my arms. Like, I don't mean to sound dramatic, but, like, I wanted to be the last one to hold him. And he didn't even put up a fight. It's just like he went to sleep, like nothing, not at all like what Athena did. And I was like, oh my God. But it's just like, he was like, oh, finally, I'm not in pain anymore. And so I was like, you can go be with Athena. Oh man, I was doing so good. Do you know, like, I 100% believed that that time that we had in the car, that last hour down there, me holding him, I 100% believe that was our goodbye. And so I've been preparing for this. I've talked about how like 5 years ago I thought this dude was going to die because I was like, what animal is going to want to be with me that long? And he made it to about 15 almost. Oh, this just sucks. I was going to say, I had already said my goodbye. Last night I didn't even cry a whole lot because like, I feel like I've done a lot of crying about him, especially that one night when I got on here to record and I was like telling you guys how I spent just hours crying when something first happened with him several weeks ago. And did I know then? Like, did I feel it then in that moment? And I was telling Alicia, I was like, I really think animals know. They feel it. And I'm sad that he didn't get to say goodbye to our other three, but they were acting differently too. And I know that they sensed something was off with him. And they're, of course, acting differently now, and I expect them to, and I just really hope they don't get super depressed. Like, I wish I could just take their pain away, and I'll just take it on, because, I didn't think I would be able to do this as well as I feel like I have. And, it's in large part because of Alicia. Sorry about the dry mouth. I took marijuana too. It doesn't usually do anything for me if I'm feeling really sad, but I try it anyways. And, but anyways, she, like, was on the phone with them. She was, like, just pretty much dealt with the doctors and stuff and, like, arranged, like, looking for a place for us to bring him. Like, she did all of that so that I could just focus on just being with him and enjoying the last bit of time that we had together. And when they brought him in today and I said, can we have like 15 minutes with him before you come back in? And he was growling just like he was yesterday because he was in pain. And they had just taken him off the pain meds to bring him to us. He shouldn't have already been in that much pain. And so it was like in that moment that I was like, for sure, this is the right decision. And at this point, it's not even a factor of money. I don't want this cat to suffer. He's brought nothing but happiness to my life, and, I want to end his suffering as quickly as possible. And I feel like I can't believe I'm on here talking about this right now. But, when we walked out today, this just overwhelming sense of relief washed over me. And I know it's because of the in limbo thing, like not knowing, like, what are they going to say? And I kind of just was like, I know I'm just waiting for this cat to get to the point where we have to be like, we're going to have to put him down. I've just felt like it was dragging this out, and that's what I hate. I don't like uncertainty. I don't like having to, like, deal with shit for, like, who does, And, so I was just like, so fucking relieved. And I hope you guys will understand what I mean by that. Like, I'm not glad that dude's dead, obviously. I'm glad he's not in pain. I'm glad that, like, okay, there's been a conclusion to whatever this was. And even if the conclusion isn't what I wanted it to be, I've got one now. And I know my cat is gonna just wait for me. And with Athena, wherever they are, I don't believe in heaven. I don't believe in, like, whatever. But I don't even believe that, like, they're really gone. You know what I mean? Like, we have Athena's ashes in the house. And they're gonna do the same for Hades and give us a paw print and, like, a ceramic thing. Which I think that'll be nice. So, I don't know, I just feel like this cat lived a really good life. I know he did. He gave me a really good life. He's seen me at my absolute fucking worst. Because I got him in my early 20s. Mid-20s, early 20s. And he's been there for everything. He's the only thing in my life, aside from Alicia. She's not a thing, but you know what I mean. He's just the only constant. Unconditional love, always happy to be around me, followed me around, like all that stuff. And I am so shocked that I'm on here just doing a whole episode about this. I just thought I was going to get on and be like, he's dead, bye. So I was thinking on the way home, I was like, man, I have always wondered, would I be able to like make it through this? And I am. Um, I told Alicia this morning, I was like, it's not going to hurt any worse than how I already feel. Like, nothing is going to hurt worse because I know he's got to go. And, I had always been afraid of him getting to, like, elderly age, like, across the street. They had a dog that's, like, blind and, like, just pooped like, that poor dog. And Janice has a deaf cat, and I don't know, I just was afraid of, like, obviously thinking of myself, like, am I gonna, like, be okay seeing an elderly cat in the house all the time struggling with, like, hearing or just walking, you know what I mean? I was so afraid. What if, like, he gets to be 20? What if any cat that we have gets to live that old? And I don't know, I'm just talking about something completely different now, but I just wanted to get on here and just share this, and also I feel different in some way inside. I feel different. I feel at peace. I feel like this was the time and this had to happen, and I don't have any regrets, and I couldn't have done it without Alicia. I just couldn't have. And she's obviously very upset too. Like, this was our cat, even though I had him first. I mean, I'm just saying, we have the stronger relationship, or had the stronger relationship, and I always threw that in her face. And so, like, I think I am so inappropriate because on the way home, I wasn't even crying a whole lot. I was like, oh my God, I'm just glad that this is done with. Because just, you know how it feels to just have something hanging up in the air. And so I was just like cracking jokes in the car. I was like, how long do you think it's going to take the other ones to croak? And she was like, oh my God. And I'm like, too soon? Like, I'm not trying to be morbid, and I'm pretty sure you guys are going to understand, like, where my mindset is at with this whole thing. And no, I did not manifest his death. If there's anybody out there thinking, oh my God, this bitch has been talking about him dying for a long time, I don't feel like I manifested it. I just feel like this was just his time. And there will never be another Hades. And so when we got home, because we have Xena, she's the next oldest. She's like, 12? And then we have Caesar, and then we have Morpheus. Caesar's like 10, Morpheus is like 6. And I was like, okay, one of you guys need to be like the B version of Hades. Like, you need to step it up, become obsessed with me. Like, come on, you can do it. And I really think it's going to be Morpheus because, he's kind of like an alpha kitty anyways. The thing I'm most worried about is Caesar, because Caesar was Hades' best friend. Hades raised Xena and Caesar. Like, he just did. He took care of them. And Caesar was always snuggling on him when he was a baby. Like, I'm not looking forward to Caesar, like, running around the house crying, looking for him, because I'm sure that's going to happen soon. But life goes on. I'm going to probably cry on and off for however many days, but, Hades deserves all of my tears. So, thank you for listening. Goodbye.